when I heard Prabhupada say this, I was thinking about a particular shloka that has this aspect where a certain point is reiterated multiple times. Can anybody know what I'm thinking of? Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Namaiva Kevalam, Cloud Nasteva, 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 Gatyanyata. So that the holy names is the only, like chanting the holy names is the only means for deliverance in the stage of Kali. There's no other way, no other way, no other way. So this is reiterated to stress the importance. So fortunate we are to be able to take to the process of chanting Hare Krishna under the guidance of such bona fide representatives of Srila Prabhupada. I mean, bona fide representative of Krishna, who is Srila Prabhupada, and also representatives on behalf of Srila Prabhupada, making it so easy to approach the Supreme Lord, which this is the one great thing in this age of Kali, is that there's an ocean full of faults. Everywhere you look, it's all bad. But the one good thing is it's very easy to just chant Hare Krishna. So we just have to stick with it and keep doing it. And as we continue to chant and strive to chant free from offenses, then we can develop a deep attachment and relationship with the holy name. And you'll see that the holy name is actually a person. It's Krishna himself. It's not some mechanical means to control our mind. You know, yogis, they're doing so much stretches and exercise and, holding their breath. It's all mechanical to control the mind and fix it on something. But as we're chanting Hare Krishna, it's different. In the beginning, we may treat it very mechanical. But one has to go beyond this mechanical chanting and really chant with their heart, calling out to Krishna. Prabhupada said chanting Hare Krishna is like a baby calling out for its mother. When a baby is calling out, crying for its mother, it's not thinking about sense gratification and, its old girlfriend and the movie that it saw 3 years ago. It's just thinking like, Mom, help me. So we should be chanting with this intensity, calling out to Krishna. Krishna, please help me. I'm struggling. I need service. Please engage me in your service. And then, how do we respond to that service when it comes? That's another thing. So, we could keep talking, but we could keep reading. Does anybody have anything they'd like to say? You have a microphone?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Really enjoyed what you had to say about Guru, and it reminded me of something I read. St. John of the Cross, he had this book called Dark Night of the Soul. He talks about this propensity that we have to, in relation to our spiritual master, our teacher, to postulate ourselves as, to present ourselves on a higher platform than we actually are. We don't want to show our deficiencies to who it is that we're seeking knowledge from and protection from and so forth. And I believe he goes on to mention what he says, that Guru, he already kind of knows where we're at, but there's still a validity in being honest and revealing where you're at. But if Guru knows where we're at already, and if he can kind of see through our the facade that we put up, then what makes it so important to be honest in our dealings with Guru, and how can we summon the courage to just do that? Because there's something that wants to hide, like you said, and pretend like everything's okay, and pretend like we're actually, perfect.
We can't cheat Krishna. We can only cheat ourselves. So I say Krishna, but the same principle can be applied to Guru, relationship with Guru. As I mentioned, our relationship with Guru can be viewed as a gauge as our relationship with Krishna. But in that sense, what's there to hide? I can only hide things from myself, which hurts myself. I can't hide it from Krishna. So if I'm hiding that, it's fake, it's duplicity. This duplicitous nature, it's terrible. This is what keeps us in the material world. But to have one-pointed, firm faith and focus on surrender to Krishna, this is Sharanagati. Full surrender, full dependence upon Krishna. But the duplicitous nature is, I smile in your face and I ridicule you behind your back. So it might not be that extreme with Guru, but yeah, we pretend I'm good, I'm strong, I'm fixed, I'm this, but then within my heart and my mind, I know, I'm lusty. I doubt that this is even it, I doubt that my Guru is, the Guru for me. All these doubts within our heart and our mind. So the more we can reveal our mind and inquire from senior devotees who've crossed over these hurdles, the more they can give us insight. Even if I'm listening to a class and somebody says something that I've heard before, I can ask a question even though I think I know the answer. Like I definitively know the answer. But you can ask a question anyways because that person is practicing and they have a different angle of vision and they can open up more insight and elaborate on that train of thought, which can only help us if it's broadens our vision. But this feeling of I know, I am good, I'm okay, this is horrible. Because if we really thought I'm good, I'm okay, I'm strong, then why are we here? It's counterintuitive. The whole point of coming here is to take shelter of. Coming here in terms of Krishna consciousness, but we can look at it in terms of coming here to the temple. We come here to the temple to take shelter of the temple, of Shri Gauranatai, of the devotees and management at the temple, the structure, the program at the temple. Srila Prabhupada, they're all his temples. But then in terms of Krishna consciousness, why did we approach Krishna at all? It's to take shelter. And our acharyas who are in reality residents of the spiritual world, who are nityasiddhas, perfect, they're playing the part of conditioned souls. And what are they doing? Narottam Das Thakur singing a bhajan, lamenting how he wasted his life, drinking the poison of sense gratification. You hear about his life, you're like, where's the sense gratification? He's running and chasing Mahaprabhu and doing everything to surrender to the Lord from a very young age and never went back. So where is the sense gratification? Bhaktivinoda Thakur. You could look at his daily schedule that he would follow. He'd wake up very early. I don't know the whole schedule, but just to give an idea, he'd wake up very early, he'd chant, then he'd study. Maybe he'd do writing, then he'd go to work, then he comes back, and he would only sleep 4 hours and he'd eat something very simple, and then the rest of the time he's engaged in studying, writing, chanting. And he wrote so many bhajans, so many books. So my point is, these souls, they're always praying, Lord, I'm helpless. When will I fully take shelter of you? It's not that I've taken shelter of you and now I'm good, now I'm happy. No, there's limitation, because Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he taught how loving and separation can actually bring one closer than togetherness, which is a very subtle point to understand. If I'm thinking of a loved one who I'm hoping to see and spend time with, your thoughts are always with them, even though they may be, halfway around the world. Oh, when I see this person, I'm going to be so happy. I'm going to do like this. We're going to do like that. You're preparing things. You're getting items to bring. But then when you're there, that initial buzz kind of fades. And on top of that, there's also the feeling of, oh, this time is going to end at some time. So loving and separation can actually bring us much closer to Krishna, but it's like bittersweet, because you're hankering, you're calling out to somebody who's not there, and you're missing them. But by missing Krishna, who's absolute, you're actually with him. We're missing something in the material world. I mean, shame on us, we're just hankering after something which is just fueling agitation and bondage to more karma. But when we're feeling hankering and separation from Krishna, it brings us very close to him. He's right there. So, in short, we can't hide anything from Krishna. We only are hiding things from ourselves because we think it protects us. But this doesn't protect us at all. This is just the false ego. The false ego creates this wall, this barrier. I'm good, I'm strong, I'm capable, I'm this, I'm that. But it's exactly what it is. It's false. So to venture beyond that is scary for the false ego, and it makes us feel uncomfortable. But the more we approach the guru, the senior devotees, guru, sadhu, and shastra in that humble mood, and take those steps out of our comfort zone to depend upon Krishna, then the more we realize that the more we step towards Krishna in that mood of surrender, Krishna actually provides for me, takes care of me. And this is impossible for somebody to conceptualize. Like, you can conceptualize the idea, but my point is you actually have to walk the path. This is why, it's self-realization. Because if it was group realization, everybody would do it. Before I came here, a senior, Srila Prabhupada disciple, he told me that this program I was going, it was very nice. It's like, yeah, this self-realization, God realization, it's like perfect, because it's not too hard where nobody can do it, and it's not too easy where everybody can do it. Because if it was so easy, everybody would do it, and then I'd see, and then I'd want to do it. But it's not dependent upon that. We have to make that step. So how do we make that step? We need shraddha, we need faith. But faith isn't just blind faith and me believing in that you do this and you'll, go back to heaven, and enjoy in your next life when there's nothing tangible to show. No, shraddha, faith, means like conviction. You have sufficient conviction that there's something here, and then that conviction will lead you to sadhu sangha. And sadhu sangha is actually, in one sense, it's associating with the devotees, but from a higher sense, sadhu sangha means, like accepting spiritual authority. That I am convinced that this path is legit, and now I'm convinced that these personalities are there who are living that path. And therefore, I want to serve them so I can make progress on that path. So then by serving them, then they engage us in bhajana kriya, actually engaging us in performing devotional service. And by doing that, then anartha nivritti, then we start removing all these anarthas, this junk within our heart. So as we come in contact with the guru and chanting Hare Krishna, naturally this starts happening. But if we really want to pick up the speed, that starts when we really surrender to Guru, surrender to Krishna. And it's not like a Band-Aid where it's just like, I'm surrendered now, Haribol. No, it's like you're forced into a tough situation, and it's like your back's against the wall, and you're looking around, what do I do? Okay, Krishna, I don't know, but I'm just going to do this for you. I'm going to try it. We'll see what happens. And then you do it for Krishna. And then so much blessings and mercy and realization comes. And then you feel strong. And then, eventually your back's against the wall again. And eventually you realize, oh, let me just surrender to Krishna fully all the time. And Krishna will protect me, whatever happens. And we tend to think of things in terms of material comfort. Even if my body has cancer, oh, that's just Krishna's blessings to teach me a lesson of how I could surrender and depend upon him further. Even if, I go out and distribute books and 100 people say no, spit on my face and I don't get any more. This is Krishna's blessings to teach me something. How can I serve you more? How, what's there I can do for you, Krishna? So the pure devotee, he sees everything that it's just Krishna's blessings upon him. So it's a very long-winded answer. Thank you for the question. Any final comments or thoughts? We can keep it short if you have something or no. Yeah, it's 8:20, Bhagavad Gita class, Kijai, it's over. Anybody can leave if they want, but if you want to ask a question, you can continue.
So Krishna has a subtle form, and we can't perceive that subtle form. But also Krishna takes the form where people can see Krishna, and so I don't really mind how that's possible. That part's not really a concern, but like, how do I wrap my head around the concerns? Like, how do I accept that and not have my doubts about that? The technical thing about how Krishna, I don't mind, but I just let's say like in a situation, like let's say there's Krishna and I can see, how would I like accept that without saying like, how would I not become the person to say, or like when I look at the deities, there they are, material. How do I accept that is Krishna, but Krishna is also subtle? How do I get past this doubt that that's also Krishna?
Yeah, this is a very big point in the philosophy, because you could mention it in terms of Krishna, of the deities, like you said, or even of Guru Tattva, how can I accept this person as a representative of Krishna? Like I mentioned, we can read and hear, okay, the deities, they're not stone, it's actually Krishna here. But then we look up there and we're like, oh, I see stone though. What are they talking about? So this takes incremental, like, faith building. And like I said, not faith in the sense of like, okay, I'm just going to accept it and that's it. But then really deep down in your heart, you doubt it. And then 10 years goes by and these doubts come up and you're like a crazy person. So it's healthy to express those doubts of, okay, I look at the deities and I see stone, what to do. But we have to go deeper than that. So we see the scriptures say that it's not stone. So why do we accept the scriptures? The scriptures give us so much knowledge that frees us from our whole situation in life, that frees us from lust, anger, greed, that gives us knowledge of everything that's going on tangible around. Everything about it makes sense. So when we build on that faith, understanding that, wow, when I apply these teachings of Krishna into my life, there's rapid change and transformation. And what is that transformation? I'm not attracted to the material world, and I'm giving my life to God. And why? Because it's blissful. Why? I don't know. When I chant Hare Krishna, something just magical happens, So then the more and more you do this, the more you see that, okay, when I do this, when I choose Krishna, it's there. There's something there. There's some potency there. And the more we choose and the more we go in there, then the more we get potency, more conviction. And then the more we are convinced, then, we slash through those doubts with transcendental knowledge. So then we see, okay, the same scriptures that are freeing me from all my problems, the same scriptures that Srila Prabhupada clearly doesn't have any material desires, is giving us and lives by and studies and dies for. Those scriptures are saying that the deities aren't just stone, that it's actually the Lord manifest himself. So it has potency. But until then, it's like we have to take the potency not from our own self, our own conviction, but from the Guru, from Srila Prabhupada. Nobody in the West knew of worshipping deities, but they're all doing it because Srila Prabhupada gave it to them. And then by them following the instruction of the Guru, they develop realizations and continued with it for their whole life. I mean, there's two devotees. I'll finish on this last point. There's two brothers, they're like twin brothers, and they're from England. Prabhupada, he saw them, and I don't know how, but he told them, you two, you go stay in Mayapur and you serve the deities, like you become pujaris. And they stayed there their whole life, like 50 plus years, just serving the deities in Mayapur. And like, they became so fixed up and so convinced in this deity worship. And it all came from the instruction from Srila Prabhupada. So if we follow the instructions of Srila Prabhupada, then Krishna will eradicate these doubts within our heart, because Srila Prabhupada is the representative of Krishna, just non-different in one sense. So follow the path of the acharyas and it all will work out. Okay, thank you everybody for patiently hearing. Anchakapatarubhyascha